Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. And there are a lot of you that are new here, a lot. It appears I had a video that kind of went a little viral. Didn't expect that at all, not this early on. So what I want to do today, I have this idea for a pocket, and I want it to look like my botanist dropped a specimen slide on the corner of a working page and it's just sitting there. That's kind of my idea. So I have a couple of pages that I printed out. I have my new printer. It's a Brother MFC-J. I'll put the number down below. It's an inkjet. It's got an Easy Ink subscription program. I don't know how it compares to an Epson because I haven't used Epson in years, and it used to be Epson was like disposable. You didn't buy it unless you wanted a garbage printer. And now I know it's kind of like the standard of printers. So I don't know. So I've got a couple of pages that I printed on the new Epson and a couple that I printed on my laser printer. And I like this one, but it's too wide for a pocket. Like, it would need to be significantly trimmed down, but I think that could work, although it could kind of blend in a little bit. So that's one idea. The other one is this one, and I'm leaning towards this one. This one's printed on my laser. You can kind of tell because it's like yucky, and the toner is really bad at the bottom, but I don't need the bottom half of the this image. And I think that might look really cool up at the top, and very much as if it had been kind of dropped on the edge of a page. I want the specimen slide to kind of stick out above the pocket. So this one could work because I could lay it here and leave the wood grain part looking as if it's part of his desk. So that's an option. And then this one's also printed on the laser printer. And this one could also work. I really like the rings. And just to show you the difference between my laser printer, this is the laser printer, and that's the inkjet. And the inkjet is considerably yellower. So I think that could also work, but it doesn't quite have... My idea is that it looks like he was writing in his journal, making notes, and he dropped the specimen slide, and there it sits. The other option is to kind of put it more down towards the kind of like the middle of a page, not the top of a page. That could also work. And basically it could work on any of those. So this is an image, the big one, this is printed on the inkjet. That's the full size of the image shrunk down. It's about 40-something%. That would, no, smaller than that, because that's the size if you printed 6 per page, because normally it would fill out to the edges. But then when I printed it 6 to a page, it's far too big. That's as if it's printed 6 to a page. This is on the laser, and it doesn't fit. No matter what I do, it doesn't fit. It cuts too much of it off. So I then printed it 9 to a page, and it works a bit better. So I am going to go with the bug from printed out on the laser printer, not on the inkjet, because I like the more sepia tone. It fits in a little bit more with my junk journal. And then I started to do this video on Saturday, and anybody that's paying attention will notice my binding in here is different now. I was looking for a page and I couldn't figure out why the signature on this back one was so loose. It was like flopping all over everywhere every time I turned a page, and I discovered that when I put these on originally, I'd used my crocodile and I completely severed one of my signature, one of my the wax linen thread. I had completely cut it, so the signatures were completely coming out of this signature. So I couldn't just take it and re-sew it in, because I've done a hidden spine, which meant that the signature was sewn to a piece of cardstock, glued in onto the spine. The end papers were glued over top of the paper, so I spent my weekend doing some surgery on my journal. So didn't do a video because I was repairing my journal. So the pocket needs to go on a blank page or something somewhat blank. So I've got that's where this all started, because I was looking at possibly like this page might work. I like the idea of putting it, oh, apparently I glued one of my pages shut when I was doing page repair. There we go. Put too much glue somewhere. And that's, I printed these on my laser printer, so I'll have to do something to fix that line. Maybe washi tape or a pocket. Have an idea for a pocket. That might work. I thought I had the page all figured out. Almost now, because this is the same paper as that one, I almost don't know if I want to use, like, I am leaning towards that paper, but I wouldn't put it in the back signature because the paper's the same. So definitely put out a lot. So then the choice is, which one of these do I want to use? That blends in pretty much. This one's just paper, not. This is I use Koala matte photo paper. I'll link it below. It's amazing stuff. They have multiple weights. One is almost a cardstock weight. This one is a little heavier than copy paper. It's like 32 pounds and like fair difference in weight. One of the things that I really like about it is it prints pretty consistently. I think I have, no, I don't have them here. I've got them on the other desk. I'll show you when I'm getting ready to do the one with the Williams walls, because I did some testing where I printed on the koala paper and I printed on copy paper on my new inkjet, and I am so pleased that the print is identical between copy paper and the koala photo paper, because I know a lot of people say that the inkjet is either duller or brighter, like the consistency, the look of it is different, but I found that it was identical and I was so happy. I am definitely going with this one. So my first thing is, I printed it smaller and on the wrong side of it, and there's a reason for the little X's through it. Also known as, I have an external hard drive and it decided it didn't want to be attached to my printer right in the middle of a print job, so it gave me these little funny X's, and then I thought I had flipped my paper over to the correct side and hadn't, so I printed on top of my little X's, which was fine because that size is too small. It's exactly the right size, but as far as the page is concerned, but as far as the image size, like using that, it just didn't work. Okay, so to have gussets, that's going to be too wide. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of the spiral on this page as the dead center. So I need to come in a little bit here and a little bit here. And then fold and hope that's somewhat even, somewhat straight-ish. That'll work. Yeah, that'll definitely work. Okay, so just trim that back a little bit so I don't have quite so much excess paper. And on here. So because I've reached 200 subscribers, well, I wasn't looking, I will put these page options on my Ko-fi site for you if you want to play with making pockets, something similar to this. Just, you know, because why not? So I am going to fold that down. Try to get it's somewhat even. Yeah. So, I don't know if you can see this. I like when I'm doing a pocket to create extra strength at the top. So I like to fold down, not a gusset, but kind of a gusset, and give extra strength, just for reinforcement. But it doesn't need to be quite that wide, nor do I need that lovely bit of pink, which I'm never going to have with my inkjet. The other thing is, if you can see here, you notice there's like a line here and a line here and a little square. I don't know if you can see that. Here, let me draw that with my pencil so you can actually see that. So there's a line here and a line here. That's extra, you don't need it. And a line here and a line here, those are where your folds are. So you don't need that. But if you cut it straight when you fold in, your paper will show in your fold, and it can kind of catch on this side if you're using this as a gusset. So all you do is, as if you were mitering it, you just come in here and here like that, so that you cut a little bit of an angle. And then the same here, you just cut like that and that. And then I'm just gonna come in, add glue on here. Burnish that down so it sticks. And then I don't know if I folded this completely center. Doesn't actually look like it did. Doesn't look like I did. Try that again. But I want this to appear as if it's the center, so I'm gonna notch out where the rings of the, maybe just a little over, just a tiny bit over. Yeah, that'll work. Then I want to figure out how deep I want it. I need it to be deep enough that when I put this on, whether it hangs up over top or goes in the, like, it either needs to sit as if it dropped right on top of the page, or I need it up here, in which case I didn't need to notch that, right? I do believe, I think I'm going to put it further down, because I think that might look really neat. So I am going to fold about there. I'm a huge proponent in junk journaling of eyeballing things and not necessarily being fussy about being perfect. And that's really a huge thing for me to say, because I am an enormous perfectionist. Enormous. I'm going to trim this one off so I don't have as much on the bottom. And then miter my corners and hope that I can actually see the corners. Those are, they blend in really well. So asking you to see those corners is, you know, not going to happen. So now I have a pocket. You can also, if you're mitering your pockets, make sure that you've cut out enough of the edge of your like little miters on your corners You can either do it so that it doesn't overlay like this one lays over top of both sides. It doesn't make that much difference. The biggest thing is that however you glue it in, you want it so that whatever you put in your pocket doesn't catch on the bottom part of your miter, like the bottom part of your gusset, or that you're when you glue it on, that you're not gluing your gusset shut so that the things won't go inside. Hope that makes sense. If you ink, you could definitely ink around your pocket at this point in time. I've said it before, I'm not much of an inker in these places. Like, I don't ink my pockets, I don't ink my ephemera. I do inking, I do inking, but not around pockets and not around ephemera. I'd rather rely on the look of patina or that kind of thing. The odd time, if I feel like you're not going to notice that it's a pocket at the top, I will ink the top of a pocket, but very lightly. And in this case, I don't think I need to. Am I on frame? Perhaps not. I've noticed one thing that I do that is considerably different is when I put a pocket on, I put it as close to bottom and side edges as I can. I leave room here because you need room so that when you flip your page, the fold on the fold edge, your inside, your spine edge does not bind on your spine. If you have it all the way to the edge every time you open and close your pockets, this can come up and you want it really, really close. And part of the reason that I put it really close to the edge is because I haven't inked around my pockets. I want my pockets to look as if it is an integral part of the page, like that it's sitting as if when you created the page that this was always there. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense at all, but that's kind of my thinking. So now I have this little piece of plastic that came with a bunch of flowers I got on one of those, places where you buy stuff that everybody says, oh, don't buy from them, but I do. So it has some writing on it, but I'm going to cut the writing off. So I'm going to trim this right to the writing. And this is like super heavyweight plastic. That's why I'm going to use it. You could use transparency overheads. You could use just like packaging plastic that you get. When I do a specimen slide, you notice depending upon your die cut, you might have little holes from your die cut. So if you put a big piece of plastic, you notice it covers the holes. So when you turn it this way, you're going to, I don't know if you can see that shine. Here, like if you look at it, you can see that glimmer of the acetate. So you want to cut it far enough back that the acetate doesn't cover the little holes. I like to cut it, it's really tricky because you don't have a lot of room here. So what I like to do is cut off so that I'm coming, you don't want it to be too close to the spine. So if you come so that you leave about 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch away from your spine. When you close this, it won't kind of like bunch up on there. So if you go that way, and then on this side, not that it matters, you could have taken it off the other side, either side, so that it fits within that window as close as you can, and then just trim it off here. And it doesn't need to be that far, just so, as long as it's above those little holes. Another thing you can do, because you have such a small amount of room here for your glue, is you could angle here and here just a tiny bit, like that, and like that, just so that it's so that you can go up as far as you can without it hitting the holes, so that it doesn't show inside the holes. And then what I do, so once I've done that, I come around and I glue around the window. You want to get as close as you can to the window, and as fine a line of bead or a bead of glue as you can, so that when you glue that down, your glue doesn't come inside towards the acetate, because it'll destroy the acetate. And I just shifted that, so I just did what I said, don't do that. So I have a little wet wipe that isn't wet, but it will take the glue off. Hopefully. Yes, it did. Cool beans. Well, maybe not quite perfect. You can see there's a little line of glue here. Got it. So, then my glue comes squooshing out. Don't do that. I cut this specimen slide out of, do I have it? Where'd I put it? Where'd I put it? Away. I put it away. Just hang on. So I got these at Dollarama. They're 6x6 paper pack. They are 100 GSM, so they're not a heck of a lot heavier than normal copy paper, which is why I'm using it, because it's light enough weight that it's not going to add a heck of a lot of extra bulk. And this one has some really pretty like blue, and then like paper that looks like grunge, and I used that one, and I cut it as close as I could to one of the edges so that I got that brownish kind of patina to it. If you're doing something like this, you can definitely ink the edges of your specimen slide to make it pop out. And I might do that. I have to determine whether or not I'm going to do that. You'll notice that if I put this right, like if I leave it how it is, you can see the notches from the specimen slide. So I will cut a little bit back on the top, and I can cut a fair bit back on the bottom, because the bottom is definitely too long. And I'm leaving the background of it as it is, and then I might cover it with washi tape, because I don't know that I want these little, I don't know. I might leave these. I might leave these gears, but I'm not sure about that part. So the other thing I could do, living dangerously, I am going to, even though it will show, I'm going to cut around here to that line and cut this part off. And then I think I'm going to do it on this side too. All right. Which makes it look really, really funny because it's just kind of hanging out there. Okay. Yes, I like that. So then I can cut a little bit more off the top because I want a bit more of the bug showing. And then I can push that like as far towards the top as possible. So next I have all kinds of washi. And I think if I put washi on the two outside edges, I really mucked that up. So I might put a little bit of, I could put a little bit of my tape on there. Yes, I could put a little bit of tape on there. Might leave that for now. That might work. Those are edges of tickets, so they look, I wouldn't mind something that looks a little bit more botanical. It's not like I have any options at all. I have ones that are very mathematical. These are just numbers. Oh, maybe letters. Those are just letters. Those would be pretty grungy. It's got butterflies and clocks. This is the one I've used over and over and over again. I might use that one. I really like that one. Oh, yeah, no, I like this. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay. Should have cut that longer. Oh, no, that does cover. Does that cover? Yeah, no, I'm going to cut a little bit longer. Because if I cut a little bit longer, it'll go, it'll cover the little holes from the, so that these, so the white from the background doesn't show up. I think that would work. I'm hoping that's wide enough. And then that just barely works on that side. Like almost does not work on that side. I know it looks funny because it's on the top, but and these washi tapes that are on paper are really, really hard to get off. So hopefully my head doesn't get in the way too badly here. And then I need to trim off a little bit here. And here. Now, will that work the way I'm thinking? Yes. So I think I need a little bit wider one than that, if I have one. That would almost work. That one would work. Definitely this one will work. And I'm going to do what I should have done on the other one and add just a bead of glue along the edge here so that the washi tape sticks a little better. If you add washi tape, make sure on this side that it doesn't get too close to your spine of your thingamy, that thing, you know. Yeah, that works. That definitely works. gonna glue this little thing down. Try to make sure that gets even. Yeah. So then, if you're doing something like this, after all of that, like I've like made sure my little like corners are, it's more so that in the window it doesn't show, but you can put brads in your little windows. And I will show you a trick for putting brads in corners if I can find little ones. No, those are all my big brads. I have two little things of brads. These are all large ones. And these are all the smaller ones, which are still pretty big. Like these are, like those are enormous. I want brads like these, which are like smidgy small. Scrapbooking brads that are so tiny that they're hard for my chubby little fingers to pick up. They don't go in the holes very well, but I want them to be like bronze, or not these like stupid big things like these are so big, so big. However, I have an idea. I have an idea. Let us see if this will work. So when you put a brad in the corner, when you fold it over, pretty much normally, here, am I on? Yeah. When you push the legs down, hang on, I can't see my legs. They're under my desk, I can't see my legs. I find the legs of brads to be like annoying things. There. So when you put a brad down and you push it, like one side almost always goes over your piece of paper. But if you like kind of move it, you can go at a 90-degree angle and come in at the side a little so that it comes in more sideways, like that. And if you come in before you glue it shut, then your brad doesn't show on the back side of your little thing. If I'm gluing it down on here, it's not going to make as much difference, and I could use my crocodile or even not and just come through and push it through, in which case make sure you glue it down first. And I think actually with the other, I'm going to do that with all of them, because I am going to put it over top of that pocket. So I'm just going to glue this shut. So make sure when you glue it shut that you go around the little holes. Don't put your glue inside the holes. And I obviously put my washi tape over the fold like I told you not to do. So don't put your washi tape over the fold. You want to come up on your acetate because you want the whole thing to be glued shut all of it. So you want to put glue as close to the edge of it as you can and as close to the window as you can without putting so much on that it's going to glue into the window. And here you want to be a little bit more careful that you don't push in towards the window as you smooth it down, or the glue can come into your acetate and you don't want the glue to show on the right hand side. So you can bring your crocodile with your small setting. It should be about the same size as that little hole, and just punch out the circles. If you've used washi tape like I have, the washi tape might stick in your crocodile a little bit, and you might have to convince it to come out. Get these open. Am I on frame? I am. Hey, cool. All right, pull that in. Oh, I need to cut that little bit of washi tape on that side out of that notch. Two. Okay, so I have an idea for the brads because those are huge. I thought I had my pair of pliers. There they are. So, flat pliers. They're like, pliers come in multiple different kinds. You get needle nose, you get flat nose. They're like completely flat, both sides, and broad at the tip. So I'm gonna try my flat nose pliers and a lot of arm muscle. I'm gonna use the like closer to the end of the pliers, because I'm hoping that'll be, oh yeah, easy like butter. So, looks a bit grungy almost instantly. And I don't think I need to press that hard. Oh, I like that. That looks like somebody hit it with a hammer without all the work of hitting it with a hammer. Or the noise, for that matter, of hitting it with a hammer. Because noises are hammery. Yeah, like that. Oh, that looks pretty good. And that is very flat. That is very, very flat. Like not paper flat, but definitely not as thick as a brad. I really like how that turned out. I'm gonna put my glue in, or my pin in my glue. I was gonna say before it dries out, but that ship sailed. There we go. Maybe put 6 or 7 rolls of washi tape away so I can find my desk. So when I think I mentioned this before when I did this, I don't know if it's the acetate or the alcohol thingamy spray that I used on this. It's a bit sticky, so I have a little bit of baby powder. I just like put it on my finger and all over. Okay, I put it on more than my finger. Anybody have a baby that we are changing that is in need of like a little diaper rash intervention? Must be why I have baby wipes on my desk. My tape's not sticky anymore. So badly not sticky, I wonder if it's going to stick at all when I put it on the specimen slide. Wonder how do I want to do that? Do I want to come around the edge onto the back? Do I just come up the corner of it? Let's just come up the corner of it a little. And seeing as I messed that up so badly with the baby powder and it might not stick. I wonder if I'm going to have to put some glue on there. Seems like it's still sticky. I'm gonna run a little tiny bit of glue. Just a tiny bit of glue. Oh, I like. I think that worked. And then I've got a little bit of an owie on that side as well. Oh, this is just about as fun as the washi tape. There we go. Just a couple beads of glue. Try to keep my baby powder fingers off of it. Yeah, that works. And then I have kind of two options. I can be really intentional and place it exactly where I want, or I could close my eyes and just drop it. Just kind of want to move that a little there, so that when it's stuck down, it doesn't show. I think there are two ways you could do this. Like, you could make this a tuck spot so that you could get something in here, in which case you would want to cover the brads with washi tape or sellotape, or like just tape, or you could make that, like, you could stick it up here and make it so that it's, I am going to make that a tuck spot because I think that would be hilarious. Which means that I need to put something over top of the brads. So I could put straight tape, or I can put washi tape. And I have so much washi tape. Let's use washi tape. I don't want to use a washi tape that I have to futz around with getting the paper off the back, even though those are a bit wider. Do I have one like that? I have so much washi tape, and you'd think that it would just be like, pull out a washi tape. Yeah, pull out a washi tape. Washi. This is a place where you could use your ugly washies, like the ones that you don't want to use on the front of things, or yeah, that you're not as concerned about. And like I said, you could just use regular Scotch tape. You don't have to use washi tape. If you use Scotch tape, it's more likely that it'll stick without you having to glue it as well. So if you're using that, if you're going to do a pocket like this, use a specimen slide as a additional tuck spot, just glue around the 3 edges. And I would glue above these little notches on the bottom side. On the top side, obviously, it doesn't matter because it's the top and things are going in the top. I would also glue this little, like all the way to the bottom, so that your line of glue for your pocket is kind of like here, and then it goes down. For gluing, you get a straighter, thinner line of glue if you hold your hand steady and just like make one long straight line of glue from one side to the other. Don't go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth unless you want like a really wide line of glue. Just go like straight and go as slow and steady as you can. How much of that? I can cover that butterfly, right? Yeah. So then, let's just pretend that that is a tag. So now you could put a tag in here and probably make it like small enough that you've got like a tab coming out here maybe that doesn't show too much above, and then you can put like something big in here, but that gives you just almost like a secret little, and that makes it look very much like he just dropped it on his desk, because she dropped it on her desk, because you can put something underneath it and it would be extra secret fun journaling spot. So I did make some changes to this when I had to pull all my signatures out. I had the page that I had here. I didn't like how the folded side, hold on, not that one. I really liked this, but I didn't like how this had turned out. It just irritated me so badly. So I figured I would just pull that out. So I will probably cover this again with something similar to what I had on it before, or maybe not the same. The other thing I did differently is I had a 3-hole pamphlet stitch in here before, and I changed it and did it as a 5-hole pamphlet stitch because I thought it gave some of these smaller pages a bit more stability in my signature, and the maps a bit more stability. Originally, I figured that it was because I had done a 3-hole pamphlet stitch that everything was coming apart, but it was me and what I had done. So I don't know when the video is going to go up because I need to get these pages onto Ko-fi for you guys. But again, like I did not expect to reach 200 in the first 2 months. Like I thought it was like a 6-month goal or even longer than that. So I am just beyond ecstatic. And I just want to thank everybody again for coming by and supporting a newbie, somebody who doesn't have a clue what they're doing. And until next time, I hope you have a lovely crafty day. Talk to you later. Bye.